So today I'm going to dispel a really common myth about creating the life that you want. And what I want to share is why it's actually this very commonly held belief is a limiting belief in itself. And I think it keeps an awful lot of people stuck. So if I say, or if I were to say to the masses, what's stopping you from creating the life that you want, most people would say money. A lot of people would say, I need a lottery win to live the life that I want to live. Now, one, that's not true. And two, it's a limiting belief in itself. And this is why it's really important, because let's take that scenario. If somebody genuinely believes that they need a lottery win to live the life that they want to live, the odds of winning the lottery are very slim, particularly if a lot of people say they need a lottery win and then they don't do the lottery. So even slimmer. But the reason why this is a kind of limiting belief is when you say, oh, well, I can't live the life that I want to live unless I win the lottery, most people don't expect that they're going to win the lottery. They think rightly that their chances are very slim. Someone's got to win it, but actually the chances are very narrow, as the odds tell us. And what that belief then does, essentially, it's not about the lottery, it's about them saying, I can't live the life that I want to live because I don't have the money. Now, in the here and now, in this moment, they may not, these fictitious people I'm talking about, may not have the money to live the life that they want to live. But that's only in this moment. They cannot know what's possible in the future. Now, here's the reality. With that belief, the likelihood most people maintain that belief, they take it with them through life, and they have limited funds because their belief is they can't afford to do what they'd really love to do. Can you see that that belief is the very thing that's limiting them? Because a very famous quote by Henry Ford, whether you believe you can or you can't, you're right. Now, this is in relation to money, but that's true in relation to anything. And for those of you that know of how I got into mindset work way back in the day, it was about my belief as a rider, and specifically as a competitive rider. And I genuinely believed that I couldn't compete, or that I couldn't be a good enough competitive rider, as in just my identity was, I'm the girl who has horses that are difficult and doesn't compete. And when I realised that was my identity, and it wasn't an identity I wanted, but it was one that I'd created for myself, I realised how much I was limiting myself. So what I really want you to know is, and this is how you become a really powerful human, is what's going on in this moment is all that's going on in this moment. It does not dictate what's going to happen in the future. Now, where a lot of people, large proportion of the population, find their evidence, this is how the mind works, is based on what's gone in history. So if somebody has wanted to do something and financially they haven't been able to do it at any point in their life, then they will have the mantra of, I can't afford it, whatever it is. And so that becomes part of their identity. So when you say what stops you, I'm very dark this morning, let me just put a light on. Even though it's bright sunshine in my office, I'm in a bit of a corner. That means it's, I don't know if that's made me a little bit brighter. That very sort of historical experience is influencing their future, because good morning, whoever's just joined live, I hope you're well. Say hi in the comments, let me know that you're here. So those beliefs of, I need to win the lottery to live the life that I want to live, are limiting in themselves, because I've already identified earlier on that the chances of winning the lottery, morning Helen, are actually pretty slim. But you do not need the lottery win to create the life that you want, because you have it all within you when you use your mind and your time intentionally. So this is why it's so important that people understand what is a limiting belief. Our language creates our reality. So this actually came up because I did a reel last week about what's stopping you from creating what you want in your life, and somebody actually commented and said, oh, I need a lottery win, otherwise I can't do any of the things that I want to do. That's not true. When you focus on what it is you want and you are committed and ready to go all in incredible things happen. The challenge is when you have the belief in your mind that you can't do something and you really want to, but you've decided the door is closed. And often these beliefs and decisions are actually held within our subconscious mind, which means we're not aware of them. You can't do it no matter how hard you try. And so the way to actually circumvent this, apart from to work with somebody like myself, is to actually look around and see that other people have created the life that you would like to live without winning the lottery. Now your mind will go, yeah, but it's okay for them because X, Y, and Z. Justification again as to why it's not possible for you. But that is the limiting belief. And if you followed me for a while, you'll have heard me talk about the fact that it's your mind that keeps you where you are, whether or not where you are is making you happy and helping you to create the life that you want to live. So the lottery, I can't have the life that I want unless I win the lottery, is a complete myth. But what it tells me, if that comes up, and it was a belief of mine, let me be really real, it was a belief of mine really not that many years ago. And when you start to believe or start to understand and then start to believe actually how powerful you are, you get to change it. And it's possible to say, okay, in, 3 years, I want to be doing X. Work back from, and this is some of the powerful work that I do with clients. What do you want? Okay, great. What's an ideal time frame that you would like for that to happen in? Okay, it's Y. We work back from there and say, what do you need to do? Now, if your answer is, I want to fly to the moon, you're going to need significantly more resources. If your answer is, I want to buy a property where I can have my horses at home, which was one of mine for a long time, then you get to say, how is it possible for me to create the revenue that I need to do that? Once you start to get really focused on something and decide that it's what you're working towards, you'll be amazed how your mind gets on side and brings up things. What happens in the mind as a matter of course, and it doesn't need to be about money, it could be about anything, is you think, oh, I'd love to do something. And then your mind goes automatically to, here's all the reasons why you can't do it. And you believe those reasons because it's really compelling. Now, the reason that your mind does that is it wants to keep you where you are. So the way that the subconscious mind is wired is it's designed to keep you safe. Your subconscious mind has kept you alive until now, so it goes, brilliant, I'm doing a great job. But what it doesn't do is it doesn't distinguish between where you are currently in your life and how happy, relaxed, healthy and fulfilled you are versus how much happier, more healthy and more fulfilled you could be with change. It literally is a binary. Is she safe? Yes. Then I don't want it to change. So understanding that it's the subconscious mind that puts the limits there and actually keeps you where you are can probably help you to understand why change can be really difficult, because until you have your subconscious mind on side, until your subconscious mind believes that whatever it is that you want to do is safe, then it will do everything it can to basically change, to stop you from making the change that you want. And the reason why this is really important is the subconscious mind runs the show. End of conversation. So often people, and particularly clients that I work with, don't know that it's their own thoughts that are limiting them until we dive really deeply and go, where's that come from? Oh, well, it's because, and people have evidence because that's the way the mind works. But when I really dig down with them and say, is that true? Is that really true? What we find is it's something that's been made up by the mind. And that is what keeps people stuck. So I really want you to recognize that if you have anything that comes up in your mind and you go, oh, well, that's not possible, ask yourself, is that really true? It may not be possible in this exact moment. You may not be able to go and do something just like that. However, if somebody else has done whatever it is that you want to do, it is possible, because what's possible for one person is possible for many. And there are huge examples the world over of people who've gone from living on benefits to becoming millionaires. I'm talking about money in this live because it was an example that came to me from a comment that somebody made on one of my reels. But it's a really important one because there's a real common myth in the world that when you have more money, you'll be happier. My question to you is, if that's true, why are there so many unhappy millionaires? And the answer to that question is because being happy, being fulfilled and having a great life does not come from what's external to you. For sure, it can be nice to have really nice things and to do the things that you want to be doing, but they don't intrinsically make you happy. And I remember I can't remember how many years ago this was now, but listening to Robbie Williams when he got his big mega deal, and he did a whole kind of, I'm rich beyond my wildest dreams. And then within a very short space of time, like 18 months or something like that, he was in rehab. And that was because probably he didn't know what to do with all of the money and he wasn't surrounded by good people. But you know, that kind of thing, I'm rich beyond my wildest dreams. I'm not suggesting that money is not helpful. If you're struggling to put food on the table, to pay your bills, to make the incredible difficult choices that some people are having to make at the moment between feeding their families and heating their houses, then absolutely more money is going to make a difference. However, for most people that would believe that they need to win the lottery to create the life that they want, it's simply not true. They have the ability within them to do the things that they want to do, but the blanket, I haven't won the lottery, therefore I can't create what I want, is actually a limiting belief that stops them even trying. And that's what I really want you to recognize. So let me know whether this resonates for you. I have a question for you as well. Have you registered for the masterclass? It's happening a week on Wednesday, the 22nd of June, and it links into what I've talked about today. It's called Stop Settling, Start Living, and I am so excited to share this content with you. The reason why so many people are settling for things that they don't really like and that they don't really desire, that they would love to have something different, something that's more fulfilling, something that's more exciting. The reason why they haven't created those things in their lives are because of the limiting beliefs that I've talked about. And the thing where it gets really sticky with this work is that people believe what their mind tells them, and it keeps them in a prison. But what I want to leave you with is what's possible for one person is possible for many. When you decide, when you commit, when you go all in, I'm absolutely testament to that. My life was very different 10 years ago. I've done the work, I've committed, I've been determined to make it happen. And by utilising my mind intentionally, that is how I've done it. If you want to know more, drop me a DM, get in touch. Register for the live. I will pop the link in the comment, and I will see you, if not before, next Monday. Have a great week, everybody.